my soul. Sweep over my soul. Sweep over my soul. Come, gracious Spirit, sweep over my soul. Your love keep on lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, my one true desire is to sing your praise forevermore. Your love keep lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. keep it up. My one true desire is to sing your praise forevermore. I said your love keeps lifting keep on lifting, keep on lifting me higher and higher. I say your love well, it keeps on lifting higher and higher. Now I was downhearted, and disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came, and he soon departed, and he'll never show his face again. I say your love keep on lifting, keep on lifting me higher and higher. I say your love, well, it keeps on lifting higher and higher. I'm so glad I found you. Feel like one in a million prize. And when I stand in your presence, you know I know there's no need to disguise. I said your love, it keeps on lifting higher and higher. Say your love, well, it keeps on lifting higher and higher. I say your love keeps on lifting, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Your love keeps on lifting me higher and higher. I see your love keeps on lifting me higher and higher. I say your love, it keeps on lifting, keeps on lifting me higher and higher.
Jennifer Johnson! Thank you. I don't know how you all aren't just up in the aisles dancing right now. So I think we might need the house lights back on too. Thank you. So it's so good to be with all of you. And again, whether you're here in the room or joining us online, we know many people join us online now or at some later time. And so we're exploring this month. Our sub-theme is Voices of Imagination. And it's the sub-theme to our annual theme, Voices of the Divine. And so we've been exploring this idea, this spiritual power, superpower that we have of imagination. And so when I said earlier, if you think you don't have an imagination, I want to invite you to think again. Because as a spiritual quality, just like faith, we have all the faith, all of the imagination we could possibly ever need. It's a divine quality inherent in every single one of us, but it might be a little rusty. Or maybe you've been kind of directing it in ways that aren't so helpful or constructive. So we'll get into that a little bit. But when we're talking about imagination as a spiritual quality, the spiritual power, it is our ability to visualize, envision, conceptualize, to think outside of the box. And so obviously image and visualization, visioning is part of that. But when we're using it in this context, it's not just our ability to see, like in our mind's eye, it's our ability to hear, perhaps. So musicians, right, if they're writing a piece of music, they hear it in their minds first, right? That's the power of imagination. You may not have that sense. You may not actually see it in your mind's eye. You may not hear it. But always, always, imagination, our power of imagination, is a felt sense. It's our ability to have kind of one foot here and kind of what's going on around us in our life, to not deny what's going on, to be fully present to whatever we're experiencing in the world and our life. And then it's to also have another foot in a greater potential, right? Because we're always kind of growing and encouraged to grow and develop individually and again, collectively. And sometimes the difference between those two can seem like a small shift, right? Between what is and what we want to call in. It can be something like perhaps you're walking 15 to 20 minutes a day and you're just still not feeling very good or energetic. You're still feeling stressed. And so you imagine what it feels like if I'm walking 45 or 60 minutes a day, right? And you feel what it's like to kind of just be out in nature, to feel the stress just kind of drop away, to breathe the air, to kind of reconnect to your soul and your inner self. And you start to feel more energy. And so you're imagining this, and it's not that big of a leap. You know, it's 15 to 20 minutes, and then maybe it's 25, 30, and then suddenly you're up to 45, 60. And so it's a small shift, right, from our current experience, what is, and what we want to call in, a new experience. Now, sometimes it feels like a big leap. It's kind of like we're noticing and experiencing something in our life, in our world, and we're aware of it. And then it seems like we have to like jump over into like a parallel universe, into some other potential, right? I call this having to do the spiritual Gumby. It's a new way of being, right? We're called to stretch further, right? And we're still called to use our power of imagination to dream big, to dream of greater potentials. I also think of this as a kind of double vision, and again, not in the way that we typically talk about it, because we're noticing, we're aware of what is, and we're holding the high watch. We're holding that higher vision, that imagination of what's possible. When we affirm our Seattle Unity vision together, we affirm that we are honoring diversity. And wrapped into that is diversity in all of its many forms. Different races and different ethnic backgrounds, differently abled, different awareness, different perceptions, different gender. And so when I'm affirming that vision, that type of vision, I still see a T in LGBTQIA, right? That T that represents millions of souls who are transgender. And they're here and we see you. They're our family, our friends, our neighbors, right? And so we're holding that bigger vision, even if we're also seeing and experiencing something else, right? Our collective spiritual work is to continue to call in what is greater, what is brighter, what's our highest callings. And so before I was living up here in Seattle, I was getting ready to move up to go to grad school at the UW. And I was imagining the place I wanted to live. And so obviously budget was a factor. You know, I was going to be going to school. But I wanted it to be quiet. I knew I kind of needed a quiet space. I wanted lots of light. I really love nature. It's important to me. So I imagined being where there's beautiful gardens. And I also am very healed when I'm by the water. So I was thinking, wow, I'm going to be living all around water, but wouldn't it be really nice if I was living somewhere where I could get close down to the water? And so I moved up to Seattle and I found a place. And I'm sitting in the living room, and it's a few weeks, and in the flurry of moving and grad school starting, a new job, and all of that, I'm sitting in the living room of my new home, and I'm looking out these glass doors onto this beautiful garden. And I just took a breath, and I'm like, oh, and I felt this gratitude because everything that I had imagined, I was in. So I was renting the lower level of this house. So it was a basement, but it was a daylight basement. I was renting it with another person. And it was a short walk down to Golden Gardens, so I could get my water fix. It was close to a bus line, so I could take the bus to grad school. right? So we always have this option to be conscious creators of how our future, how our life is moving forward, and collectively. And I know when we start to look at things and the way things are, and when we start to imagine a different way of being together in our society, in our communities, in our country, it can feel overwhelming. And so again, that's the practice of having that foot and noticing where we are in the moment. And if anything, I'm actually watching the news more right now. I'm listening to it more. And some people are like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? But for me, it feels important to stay connected to what's happening and what's going on, to be aware, fully aware. And then as a result, I'm also spending a whole lot more time in prayer and meditation, walking in nature, breathing, right? Noticing, but breathing, letting things move through me, and holding on to a greater vision. Using my power of imagination to know that there is a greater potential that can unfold. And the more of us that continue to hold that greater vision, the more powerful it is. It is our collective power together. And so I'm just going to ask you to just sort of check in and do sort of an internal check-in and ask yourself, sort of looking back at the past week, about how much time did you invest in focusing on what's not working and imagining the worst outcome? This is normal. We all do this. It's natural. It's human. I find myself doing it, and then I have to do a mental check and say, okay, and how much time this past week, just reflecting, have each of you, have we all been investing in holding the high watch, imagining and holding that vision of a greater potential? I think that it needs to at least be equal, if not greater. Holding the high watch, holding the greater potential, the greater vision of what's possible. And when it feels like a struggle, that's when we like double down. And when it feels even more challenging and harder, that's when we have to lean into our spiritual principles even more fully. I love what Eric Butterworth says in Spiritual Economics. He says, always, there is sufficiency even in the insufficiency. And that's the essence of holding these two visions, right? To notice what is and hold the greater vision. And when he was talking about that, he's talking about that one principle, that there's always God, divine mind, divine essence, spirit, always present in every situation. Now, in Unity, we don't talk about a God out there that we're expecting to fix things for us. We talk about all of us as an integral part of that one power, that one presence. Each of us contributing to that one power, that one presence. Eric Butterworth also said, one of his descriptions for God, which I love, he said, God is a life process by which we live. It's a different way of looking at it, right? And it's very much our core Unity teaching. God is a life process in which we live, in which we move and have our being and express all that we are, and we listen for that divine guidance that will lead us in the future we want to create together, and what's important to us. So I know that we always talk about needing to do this inner work and outer work. It's always sort of we're working in consciousness, we're working with our thoughts and beliefs. And then it is important to take those outer steps as well. And we have a little person, and he's being tended to. So he was wanting mama. He wasn't going to make it through the whole morning. So it's important that we kind of always are balancing between this inner work, right? Our foundation, our spiritual foundation, and whatever it takes to shore that up. And then I also think it's important to go take a step, an action, a physical step. And what that is for each person is going to be different, but there's two reasons for that. One is because it's a signal to the universe. It's a signal to the universe that says, I'm serious about this vision that I'm holding of what I want to call in, what I think is a higher potential that I envision. It's kind of a signal to your soul that you're directing your energy in a certain way, and it can be even the smallest step. And for you, it might be just sitting and holding the high watch until you feel that nudge of where you're called to put your energy into movement. But the two things together is what brings transformation. And for each person, it's going to look a little bit different. But there's something very powerful when we take even a small step in the direction that we envision of a better future together. So I've been leading an abundant living class the last couple of weeks, and it's always a lot of fun. I always encourage people to come and take classes, even if you say, oh, I know all that, I've done all that. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to know each other, and we can always go deeper in our practices. We have that opportunity to support one another and deepen our kind of spiritual roots. And last week, we watched a video by Lynn Twist, and she's the author of The Soul of Money. And it was about scarcity and the mindset of scarcity and generosity. But at the beginning, she talked about being a pro-activist. And she said she specifies pro-activist because, for two reasons. One is she finds it so much more powerful to be for something, to stand for something. That if we start to stand against something, then we become that very thing that we are fighting against. It creates this dynamic of fighting against it. And this gets back to this idea of a double vision, right? Now, she's not naive. She's worked for decades in some of the most challenging areas in the world around hunger, women's rights, protecting the rainforest and our environment. So she's not naive and she's not denying it, but she says, I find I'm more effective and I can be resilient if I stay anchored in what I'm standing for, right? And I think it's such a good reminder for all of us, because it's from that place that we can see the obstacles, we can see what we envision transforming, yet we're doing it from a higher place. We're doing it from a place that we can imagine this higher vision. And so I've asked Jack, who's in our class, to come and share with you his experience around imagination, because again, we all experience it differently. And so I'm going to invite Jack to come on up.
Thank you, Diane. So I want to start with a quick test. Can everybody close their eyes and take a deep breath and imagine and envision an apple? Whatever apple comes to mind, it can be red or green, and try to really picture it in your mind. Okay, now everybody can open their eyes again, and I want everybody to raise their hand. Now, if you're able to see like a picture of an apple in your hand, put your hand down, or in your mind, sorry. Put your hand down. It's a lot of people. If you're able to see the color of the apple, put your hand down. I didn't expect it to get this quick, but if you're able to see the outline, put your hand down. Because I can't see anything in my mind, and I can't hear anything in my mind either. And that's called aphantasia. And I only recently realized that that wasn't a universal experience. So 26 years of my life thinking that was totally normal. So when Diane asked me to share about vision and imagination, I had to laugh. It was ironic that I couldn't visualize like that, and yet she ended up asking me. Because I certainly have a vision for the future, and I have an imagination, but not in the same sense. So I want to share a little bit about my life to show those differences. So when I was in college, I spent 6 months doing a co-op, working for an aerospace company in Iowa. I was hours away from my community, away from my school, and all my friends who were there making memories without me. So I had had a particularly rough day at work, and I asked myself, why am I even doing this? Which is not a question that you ask yourself when you're having a great time. So a long-term job like that was supposed to show me what the rest of my life was going to be like, what going to work was like, what having money was like, and I was having a bad time. And if I wasn't enjoying it, why was I halfway through school? Why had I invested so much time, effort, and money in this future? And after getting all the tears and frustration out, I asked myself again when I was more calm, why am I doing this? Like, really, I want an answer. I'm not asking the universe, I'm asking myself. And all I could come up with was because I've been told it's the best path. And don't get me wrong, I love my parents, I love my elders, and they guided me really well, but I knew that I couldn't keep living just because other people were telling me what to do. I had to find it for myself. So I sat even longer, and I probed my imagination. And instead, I asked, why do I want to be doing all of this? And I gave myself time to feel those answers, to feel what aspects of life I wanted to experience more. Things like joy, safety, stability, love, and lightness. And as I embodied all of those feelings, they created almost a light within me, and it illuminated all of the life that I had lived up to that point. I saw the wonderful way that everything was built by everybody around me, and I saw that I needed my feelings and my imagination to go from this dark room of my life to the piece of art that everybody in my life had worked on for years. That experience gave me faith and hope in the life I would be able to build and continue to live. It gave me the agency to be able to add more to that which was already beautiful. I think it was really the first moment in my life where I felt like I was living for me. It lit me up. I've had more moments like that where I had struggles that I met with imagination and fueled change with the feelings that I felt. Harder emotions pushing me forwards, and loving, comfortable emotions drawing me towards my true nature. I wish I had more time to share different ones, but I'll post at least one other one that got cut to the Facebook group. But one thing that's universal about all those experiences for me is that those negative emotions that came with struggle pushed me to look internally and to feel what I was feeling and really welcome it and see what it was trying to tell me about myself. And it allowed me to then imagine and envision a better future to move towards. Given current events, I, like many others, am facing a time of struggle. Life is complicated and scary, and sometimes all you can do is focus on your own experience, your feelings, and your imagination. I personally believe that as your body is made of cells, the world experience is made of individual experiences, and that those all build into something greater that is the world. So I'll leave with one last quote. In the darkest times, hope is something you give yourself. That is the meaning of inner strength. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. So I'm going to have a little practice here. So those that have been feeling like your imagination's maybe rusty, so it's still there, is I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes. Just take a couple minutes, if you're comfortable, closing your outer eyes and just centering on your breath. And again, we're using imagination very broadly. You might actually visualize something in your mind's eye or hear something, but most importantly, it's a felt sense. And so when you envision the future, a future which is life-affirming, constructive, connecting, filled with laughter, honoring of all people, that divine essence of everyone. How do you imagine that? How does it show up for you? Allow your imagination to just be open. And if you start sliding into what ifs or what can't be, just bring it back to the infinite possibility that is God, that is Spirit. I'm just taking a breath and Bring your awareness back into this room and this space. And so you might have had something that came quickly, might have just been reaching, trying to find that and connect to that. But I encourage you this week to go forward and continue to use this incredible gift we have of imagination and vision to hold the high watch, for the greatest potential within our own lives and collectively. For we each have that power, and I'd say that responsibility to join together consciously in what we want to create together. Bless you. So we come now to that time to give of our donations, our love offerings. And so we are always giving from a place of blessing and generosity. And so if you are online, or even if you're in the room, you can give via text, give via the website. Again, there's these little cards in the back of the chairs. There's a QR code on those. And of course, we do accept checks. And so let us bless our offering together. I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
You come to do.
I don't know what 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 you come to do.
I come to clap my hands. 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 I don't know what you come to do.
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 I come to sing my song. 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 I don't know what you come to do.
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 I said I don't know what you come to do.
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 I come to shout my joy. 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 I come to sing my song. 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 I come to clap my hands. 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 I don't know what you come to do.
Jennifer Johnson!
Woo! Love it. So we put, as our prayer chaplains are coming forward, we put a final blessing on the offering. And so we just give thanks for the generosity of this community, all those that give to support the mission and vision of this ministry, of this spiritual community. And we see the ripples going out to bless all those that step through these doors, to bless all those that are connecting to us online. And for this awareness, we are grateful. So I did want to just invite anyone that might be visiting us for the first time. If you're willing to just raise your hand, we do have a visitor packet. Any first-time visitors? Someone up here. Thank you. Thank you. And I think there's maybe someone else over there. Great. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. There's some information in the packet. We hope you'll join us upstairs for some refreshments. And the women's group, you're welcome to go up and get something. So just a reminder, it's actually meeting down on the first floor. The women's group's going to be in the YFM room, which is right next to the conference room. So if you're interested in checking that out, we invite you to find them downstairs. And so I didn't receive the names or places from those joining us online, but we know you're there. Hello, everybody online. We love you and bless you as well. And so we turn now to pray for those who have requested prayer. And so just centering in our hearts, again, we call forth the very highest and best unfolding in the life of Robbie and April, for Randy and Anna. We give thanks for healing and renewal, revitalization for Dirk and Faith, for Marcia, for Kathy and Bert. We give thanks for divine order unfolding in the lives of Christopher and Tim, April, and anyone else you know in need of prayer. I invite you to speak their name or the place. And we know there is no distance or time in spirit. And so we give thanks for divine order unfolding in the lives of each one in each place as we close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. That's the truth.
Let's sing one more closing song together. I invite you to stand as you are able, and if you'd like to hold hands, you may, but remember, it's unity. You're allowed to not hold hands. It's okay. You can be a little different, and you don't have to explain why either. But if you want to hold, you can. And this one is We Let the Love Wash Over Us, and someone will probably move your arms around for you, but you can watch us. Here we go. We let the love